All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Championship Series Challenger, as we have had 3 series so far tonight, and now we move on to number 4, which is quite a good one, I would say.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. When it got picked out on Challenger selection just last week, I said this is going to be a cool series, and I think a lot of people agree this. These are 2 really up-and-coming, if not already established, very successful European players, just without the acknowledgement from WCS, which they can get this season for sure. Uthermal played last season. Lilbow's here for the first time, and I'm looking forward to seeing how well these do.
Yeah, obviously, rising stars, rising stars. Lilbow, as I said it before in the broadcaster, touted as one of the very best in Europe at the moment, but has really never had a great opportunity of being able to show it. Is this his moment? Is this his time to do that?
Yeah, I think it is. I think this is Lilbow's season. He's been to the Premier League once before, played in challenges since then, but this is it. He's on the big stream, big stage, and it is time to show what he's got. But Uthermal is very good. He is the highest ranked Eligilac player from the Netherlands. He's really good against Protoss. I remember a lot of his games last year. He was SCV pulling, Viking shooting down the Colossus and picking up games back and forth. And he's dangerous. He's very solid. But Lilbow, I think, has got the edge here, but it's very close between the 2.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, were saying that this isn't exactly Lilbow's best matchup here, but at the same time, he's kind of just solid all around. So anyway, we're getting into it. Coda is going to be our first map here in this best of 5 to figure out who is moving on as our 4th place going forwards here from Challenger to Premier. So let's get into things as we have spawning in the south, or to the bottom right-hand corner, of course. It is Uthermal representing AT Gaming. And up to the top left, apparently named Godbow by Uthermal, it is Lilbow representing Millennium.
Lilbow has played the last 3 seasons in Challenger and has unfortunately failed every single time. Whereas the last 3 seasons, Uthermal has played in the round of 32, but not to have found a round of 16 performance so far. Since the beginning of WCS, Uthermal has grown though. 2 Challenger seasons back-to-back and then 3 round of 32 performances back-to-back. If he can continue that, that would mean that he's on 4 round of 16s over the next year and a half. But Lilbow, it's been in Challenger, stuck in Challenger for a little bit, but this is his golden opportunity to advance out.
Yeah, definitely. Uthermal, obviously, having picked Lilbow, but not exactly the highest of picks, as he was pretty far down the seeding list.
He was 11th, and then you had Naniwa, and then who was with Naniwa? Naniwa was boxed up with one more.
That's a really good question.
I've forgotten off the top of my mind. I'd have to look it up.
That's a difficult one.
I know it.
Oh,
Happy.
You do know.
Yeah, he was tied with Happy, and then Targa left. So he didn't have too many more people left to choose with, and I think this is why this is a very difficult matchup for Uthermal and a very close one. Yeah. Because there's only a couple of people left, and Lilbow is the one.
Yep, he was left to very, very close towards the end. Now, this probe's going to head off in and have a little bit of a look around. It's funny how we get a Protoss versus Terran at the very end of this. After all the Zerg we've seen today, it's a huge shake-up. I'm still in a Zerg mentality. I need to get out of it.
Just FYI, Marine Lord was left. Kung Fu Panda was left, and Elfie was left.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And Lilbow was the choice out of those.
Yeah.
The one he would rather have preferred to play against.
I think I would have rather played others, personally. With Lilbow's fearsome reputation. But that being said, I mean, people like Kung Fu Panda himself is also kind of garnering this reputation as well recently.
I mean, the one thing that stands out, even though Lilbow is difficult, is they have had a bit of smack talk between them in the past. They have trash talked each other, these 2. Yeah. They've called each other bad, had a go at each other, mentioned each other's races, blah, 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 blah. But this is the big stage now. A best of 5 to determine who plays in Premier, who doesn't. And we have the opening shaping up, and it's going to be a reactor, a Reaper reactor expansion with a gas bank, which tells us it's going to be a factory follow-up, whereas Lilbow's just opened up pretty standard here. Though he got the mothership core, no Stalker yet. That's the only difference. Didn't build a Stalker yet. You got the second gas squeezed out there.
Would love to see it. And he will poke forwards to find the timing on that nicely. Also trying to harass a probe or two, which gets pulled away. Mothership Core very angrily will push the Reaper off.
And every Terran right now is idolizing Maru, which is why, you know, Uthermal, you can put Mar at the start of it and it says Maru Thermal.
Yeah.
And he plays like that too, or at least would like to, copies the same style. So we're going to see Widowmine drops. It's very popular. It's very dangerous. You pull this off, and you're going to get a lot of probe kills.
But can you at the same time is the big question, because Lilbow will be aware of that, as you said at the beginning, with that Maru Thermal. He knows that he's going to take inspiration from that kind of play, and the factory behind all of this, the Widowmines are on the way. And Twilight Council was in pretty quick here for Lilbow, so Blink is something that is a very, very powerful tool, but Reaper spots the Twilight Council very quickly. Oh, might get a probe down here. Nope, never mind.
And now the Reaper's dead.
Yeah, it was ambitious, but there you go.
Yeah, at least he spotted the Twilight Council from this. So he knows he's going to be playing against Blink. So now he's got to plant this Medivac wisely. If he's playing against Blink, there shouldn't be any detection.
Looking to bait out a photon overcharge maybe with these Marines moving so far out.
He can catch a Stalker here if he's holding that Zalnoga tower and he doesn't walk past it.
Oh.
Get ready for the drill.
Oh no, run away, run away!
Nice pick up there by Uthermal.
Sickest commentary of all time.
Yeah, it's kind of grabs a Zalnoga tower and that's what you can do. You can unlock the power of the...
It's not even just the watchtower, it's the shrubbery around the watchtower.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a nice pick-off. And now that puts Lilbow in a bit of a sticky situation, as he's going to be forced to use the photon overcharge here, if these Marines walk a little bit further up. But there's also these Widowmines on the way. And if Lilbow doesn't deal with this excellently, he is going to be in trouble.
He is going to be toasted. Completely toast. Probably blown up as well, as because are in good position to deny this, and well, they spot it, and they do start focusing down it before it actually burrows. Second one that will. Ow! Okay, and also the natural. Oh my god, Uthermal.
And this is.
Oh my god.
This is game, set, and done in the majority of matches when this happens. You cannot lose 13 probes, and the Widowmines is still there. Are they going to get an extra hit? The Observer's out.
Clean up.
Yeah, okay. But 13 probes, and there's another one.
There's another one. What's in it?
And there's even more Widowmines on the way, too.
Okay, Widowmine and 4 Marines.
4 barracks, 3rd command. Oh, man.
Uthermal.
Especially because now you usually think it's over, but it's not. There's another one.
It's never going to stop.
Yeah, at least there's a photon overcharge and observer, but if he doesn't pull the probes...
Oh, look. They're back as well.
Oh, man. It's...
I mean, anything he can get is nice with that, because it distracts him from this, of course, but there's photon overcharge, pulls this away.
Yeah, just 3 probes, but that's still 16 in total.
Very well done. Very well done. Uthermal really bringing it to Lilbow very early on. And it's another medevac.
Yeah. The robotics bay is on the way. He skipped the forge to get out this robotics bay a little bit faster, so Colossus are going to be in the game earlier. But then the double forge behind it. So the Colossus is going to be very useful in defending in combination with these Blink Stalkers.
He drops the scan, sees everything as it's happening.
Yeah.
So Uthermal really on top of this. Just positioning himself extra with the double medevacs as well.
Yeah, it's a wonderful setup what he's got. He's just got these drops over and over, keeping the Protoss back well, doing everything he needs to do back at home, which is working out wonderfully. Double engineering bay kicking in now.
He's not reacting. No photon overcharge as well. It blinks forwards, though. We'll be able to pick off that Widowmine. Oh, nicely done.
Okay, this didn't do anything this time, so that's pretty good for Lilbow.
In the main. Obviously doesn't have stim with these Marines, so they can't kill these probes quite as quickly. But he sacrifices in. He doesn't care. He just wants to get the probes. 22 have gone down so far.
Very bad news.
10 workers up.
And then mules as well. 3 sets of mules. You can look at a command center as an orbital command. There's almost 4 or 5 extra SCVs. So yeah, this is good. This is very, very good position for Uthermal. He hasn't started his 1-1 upgrades, which now have just started. That was a little bit of a hiccup because that did finish a bit ago.
And obviously he's keeping an eye on the 3rd base, so this probe. It's funny, he tried to go over there and decided, nah, maybe not, I'll wait for my little army to maybe push out with this. And extra gateways before the 3rd base, that's
Yeah, Lilbow's got a little bit of time here. I mean, he knows that he needs to... I mean, if he goes all in from this, I think this is very risky.
Yeah,
and even without Vikings, the sheer amount of forces that Uthermal has spread out are going to destroy what's in front of the Colossus, and the Colossus will be left over before they can kill the bio. It looks like he did think about going for a third and then said, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to attack.
Looks like it.
I've lost so many workers, and now this attack has even been spotted walking across the map.
Yeah.
SCVs can be pulled as well, remember.
Yeah, definitely. This is...
Stim is not done, though. That is a big, big part of this fight.
Yeah. All right. Well, these two Colossi, what do we have against them? Not that much bio, actually. Not that much bio. Of course, it will be churning out quite quickly now that its production is really up and good to go, and also there will be Vikings complementing this pretty soon. He's positioning himself on the left-hand side here, maybe ready to try and jump in on the Colossi.
Yeah, from behind for sure.
Oh, Lilbow, he sends one Blinkstalker to the left-hand side to try and spot this location and seize those units. Very, very well done. Really good anticipating moves. Blinks forwards again.
Yeah, just waiting here, Uthermal, because every second that goes by, he actually builds a bigger army.
Yeah, it's fine for him.
Likewise, as you know, Lilbow's going to be adding on Stalkers, but we get close to the 1-1 finishing, more Vikings get added on.
He's not up against the time. Uthermal isn't up against the timer at all. It's Lilbow that has to do something.
10 seconds on that 1-1. It's a good start for Lilbow. 2 Medivacs and 3 Marauders for just 1 Stalker is always nice.
Keeps his Colossi protected and alive, which is the most important thing. Extra units being warped in on this right-hand side here, because he can't really warp them in anywhere else for now. As, well, army supply.
If he gets rid of the Vikings and force fields well, though, it's still possible here for Lilbow. He's got double time warps.
Here come the SCVs. And there's the time warp now, slowing a lot of this down. He will get himself a medevac, not the second one, though. Focusing down some of these extra units. Lilbow, considering the position, has done a really good job of zoning out this army. It's gonna... Ooh!
1 shot away.
Very close.
It's a lot of Stalkers now, though. He's going to have to pull SCVs, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too.
He's just been chipping away on this army.
And here come the SCVs from both sides. Lays down some force fields to start things off.
He lost the Mothership Core before time warp could be used.
And he might end up losing quite a bit here. Hit this army from the backside as well. A great surround here by Uthermal. Blinks back, but he loses his Colossi, and he's lost a lot of his army there.
Yeah, this the brute force of this is gone. And he's got to build some medivacs because he only has 1 left after losing them, but he did lose 36 SCVs in this.
The Stalkers, all they have to do is really be cost efficient here, and his economy behind this Lilbow's is actually pretty good compared to Uthermal's.
Yeah.
Chops the scans.
With mules, though, it's not too different between the both of them.
True. It will catch up in a minute because he just dropped some.
Yeah. I'm just going to add some medivacs on, and hopefully Lilbow here, with the Dark Shrine coming in, is saying to everybody, I'm going to try and slow this guy down a little bit, buy myself some time, and then I will counter with Dark Templar.
Stalkers keeping him back for a little while here, and actually catching some of these is very nice by these Marauders.
Yeah. And you can chip away a little bit, but not now that medivacs have been added on. And quite a few of them are coming out now, so this force is starting to heal up. And when this force heals up, if you don't have a high amount of anything, you're in trouble, because he's trying to rebuild Colossus, but the Vikings are left over from the fight.
I mean, there's a lot left over from the fight. The majority of the bio is still sticking around.
Yeah, and that's a very strong army here. So Lilbow's really banking on these Dark Templar doing damage. So does he have? He has a couple pylons on the right-hand side. He's almost finished up with the Dark Shrine, and then if he can buy himself even more time, maybe he can get towards 2-2. Maybe he can add on the Colossus count, make that higher. I don't know, but the pylons from the Dark Templars, they're about to be taken out.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them, and there's not another close one.
He had no room for his robo facility to be going into a warp prism or anything like that, because he needs to commit to the Colossi. So killing this off might open up the taps here for Uthermal to just try and push across and do some damage.
Yeah, right now there are scans available. If Dark Templar engage into this, the tech has been shown, and also scans can be used. And now they have.
Kills off 1 Dark Templar, stims up a little bit of his force.
Still has 1 more scan available.
No force fields are here, actually, so it really doesn't have much room to work with. The 3 Colossi, though, do zone this out for now.
Very smart Uthermal sending units to the 3rd base next to the turret, knowing that Dark Templar are more than likely on the way. Very smart.
Really, really well done. Good anticipation.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Very rare you actually see that. off the back of, well, he realizes his attack didn't do much. Obviously, he knows his opponent's going to be trying something else. Really, really good moves. So good moves from both players, actually.
Yeah, the game's going to go on between the two of them. 2-2 on the way for both sides, even though the economy is slightly better here for Uthermal. It's you know, a relatively equal game. The upgrade advantage in Lilbow's favor. Getting that 2-2 can work on 3-3 soon.
It's funny you always say relatively equal game, considering where this game has come from. The amount of damage Lilbow incurred earlier on to now Uthermal, obviously taking a lot of losses himself after trying to have to deal with Lilbow's aggression.
The problem is, even with 2-2 upgrades, can he hold on against this next fight? Because it will be Uthermal that fights next once this Viking count gets high. Because you don't want to sit back, allow Protoss to get 3-3, allow them to get Storm, blah, 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 blah. You know that Protoss is difficult to deal with the longer the game gets. So he will fight. The problem is, for Lilbow, does he have enough to actually hold on? He has a lot. He has 2-2. He has Zealot Charge would be awesome if you could get that in, but...
Yeah. Does Uthermal bring SCVs with this if he goes?
No.
No? Just sits around?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for now, these Colossi still amassing. He's got himself 4, 5. 5th will be on the way very soon. Drops a scan, sees exactly the size of that army. Sees a lot of Zealots, but as he said, Zealot Charge is not done just yet.
He's got. It's not so much charging in at this. It's more so getting the Vikings to pick off the Colossus from the high ground and then take a fight.
Tries to go for one already. Brings it pretty low.
I think charging in, well, he'll probably die if he charges in. He can't get rid of the Colossus fast enough.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. Well, reinforcing a little bit extra.
But Lilbow, his charge is finishing up. And there's a couple of big stims that have been used now.
He doesn't really have that many medevacs, actually. Only 5 here to heal up a full army if it does end up stimming. It's not exactly quick, to say the least.
Charge is done. 3-3 can start, and this is a perfect time to start 3-3. And he warps in 7 more Stalkers, though.
Straight in towards this army. And the Vikings, if they would have... no, the Stalkers are still doing a really good job of zoning this out, actually. What happened to that Dart Templar?
It died somewhere.
Okay. Still no more left on the map.
Whoop.
Oh, those Colossi strayed a little bit too far forwards. Only takes shield damage, though, there. And he's actually going to take the fight straight.
Yeah, 2-2's done now for Uthermal.
Yeah, how much can the Vikings get done quickly enough here to deal with this army? The Colossus on the left-hand side actually ends up falling. He's killed off so many of the Colossi, and there you go, GG. And that was a pretty fast and furious finish to that game in the end.
That was a great fight by Uthermal.
Yeah.
I love the spread on both sides, up the ramp, down the ramp. His Vikings got rid of the Colossus. He waited till he had 2-2. That was a really nice fight.
Yeah, very, very well orchestrated by him. And again, you know, what gives rise to the fear in that first game was really all that drop play that was going on at the very, very beginning. Very difficult to deal with, and obviously evacuating all those probes out at the very beginning to the kind of the canyon just was not the right direction, it seemed. Unfortunately, he lost like 11 or so in that very start.
Yeah. That was a cool game. Very close between the both of them, but it was Uthermal towards the end there that took that fight. And won it outright. And maybe Lilbow didn't need to move out there, you could argue, but at the end of the day, that map is now over. We can get ready for map number 2, but Uthermal takes a very confident and a very comfortable 1-0 lead here. And after such a great start, he'll be looking to do the same again. That was a fantastic start.
Yeah,
20 probe kills.
It was very, very strong. Very strong. Iron Fortress is a good map for it as well, to try and get something done here. It's not the one, that's Cactus Valley that I'm thinking of, that doesn't have too much dead air around the sides of it. So I think he can get in again and try and make this work.
Yep.
So, and then, you know, you can try and limit your opponents in terms of bases as well here, when you were trying to exert that pressure. So, tough stuff.
Yeah, Lilbow's definitely got to tighten up his early mid game there, because that's what put him in that sticky situation. Anyway, is that he lost so many probes early on.
Yeah.
And you'll see the very best Protoss players not take damage versus that, and that's how you're able to combat well against Terran. But he took too much damage. He's a little bit slow with his probe movement and pulling them off. His units weren't quite in position, and like I said, losing that many workers is very hard to come back from. So you got to give credit there where credit is due, as he made that comeback, or at least attempted a very solid comeback.
All right, so now we're just getting our players good to go into Iron Fortress for game number 2. This is the final series of the day, as these two kind of youngsters of the European scene face off against one another to find their spot in Premier. So far, it's been a Team Liquid clean sweep Obviously, it can't really happen in this last one.
Yeah, unfortunately not. But this would be our 12th Premier League players. We start to fill up the 32 slots available, and we will, by the end of the week, have them all ready to go.
Yes, we will. All right, so we are loading up onto Iron Fortress now, as there's the potential here that Uthermal could take himself a very, very sizable lead if he's able to move on. So let's get into things. Game number 2. So we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner. It is, of course, our red Terran. It is Uthermal, looking good there in game number 1. And up to the top right-hand corner, it's our blue Protoss. It is Lilbow.
Fighting for France, Lilbow. And as Uthermal fights as our second Dutch player of the day on King's Day. If any of you are celebrating that, cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I don't know what else you really do. I think you just kind of dress up and get drunk. It's kind of what any carnival is. Yeah. I know those type of days, and I'm sure that's what you guys are hopefully going to be doing later, if not already. Maybe you've already fallen asleep once today, and you've now woken up and you're hungover. I know those days as well at 9 p.m.
I don't know these days, and I'm very glad I don't. Thanks, Sean.
Carnival days, man. Some of the most fun you can have.
Oh no, I hibernate on carnival days. I have my own fun, which is just actually sitting and playing video games. It's pretty good. I'm one of those closet nerds. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But anyway, Lilbow is one of those interesting characters because he's so well respected by a lot of the community and a lot of the players. But I mean, even in Season 1, he kind of got a really bad draw. He got showtime in Challenger, a player who we saw in Season 1 alone how well he was able to do. So is this, I mean, as much as we're expecting Lilbow to do well, is this another bad draw for him? Because Uthermal looked great in that first game.
Yeah, it's not an easy draw, for sure. And Lilbow keeps on getting these difficult ones as he can't quite break through to Premier League again. And Uthermal's really going to put the pressure on to kind of emphasize that again, because he's gone for gas first. Gas first here is very fast Widow Mines or very fast Hellions, because he can get that factory immediately once the barracks completes. But on the other side of the map, not so normal, is a second gas very early on for Lilbow. Which again allows him, in a very similar way to what Uthermal's done, tech up faster.
Yeah.
And use gas earlier, because he's bringing more in. Because what you usually do as a Protoss is go one gateway, one gas, expansion, get the Mothership Core Stalker, then add on the second gas, right? But the second gas is added on before anything. So he has a very decent income, which is going to get spotted too. The SUV does turn around.
Looks to not do nothing. I thought he was going to try and deny that location. It wouldn't really line up too well. I don't think he could have got down there as much as he did go that far in, but...
Yeah. This could be a very fast Stargate to follow up after this Mothership. As you can see, the Mothership comes out, and then he's got 150 gas.
Yeah.
If he denies the Scout, which he looks like he is going to, he has money for the tech through that double gas. So a bit of a difference of the opening. The Oracle is good because it offers detection, and also there shouldn't really be any defense in this game for Uthermal that Lilbow doesn't know about yet. This is his first Scout.
Which will be swiftly denied.
Yeah, it doesn't even see if there's a Nexus there or not. Knows there's no Reaper. I suppose that's one thing he knows.
Yeah, that's nice.
But what is this? Who opens up one barracks command center? Well, what build am I really playing against? Is this gas first? So I think he's going to be a little bit on the defensive, not knowing what he's playing against.
Yeah, he's going to have to be. Actually, Hellion gets produced as well. So bit of a change up here from Uthermal. And Hellions early on in this matchup can also be pretty scary.
Yep.
So the Photon Overcharge is something that's, useful against it, but still pretty annoying to deal with.
Yeah, Maro used this build, I think it was, but it was proxied not long ago in Pro League, and it just destroyed. Like it when controlled well, is very difficult to stop. You can really zone out with the Widowmine, whether it be in the mineral line or in between the bases, underneath the Mothership Core. Then the Marines can bring it down. There's lots of different usages.
Well, for now, the Mothership Core is at the natural. Hellion's going to go try and dive in at the front. Stalker's on the ramp, so they're going to try and block there for a brief moment.
Oh, Oracle not in position.
Oh, dear. Uh-oh, this is going to get bad.
And he's got to bring it back.
And the Stalker is going to get quite a bit of damage done to it already.
Time warp on the natural. I mean, photon overcharge, but he can't get back in to defend his main.
No, he could have actually left the Widowmine there. That would have been super sick. But, well, regardless of that, trying to just get as many probes as possible. Could even get the Oracle. Oh, dear me. Well, that all went down a bit weirdly. Okay, so Mothership Core took some damage.
Yeah, well, the Oracle's running out of energy.
Hmm.
So in a moment, it's not going to be too useful. But at the same time, the Phoenix is destroying this Medivac slowly.
All right, crazy little opener here from
But the Widowmine is still around.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice that little
And there is no detection from the Oracle. So one probe will sacrifice its life. Sucker douche!
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And so that probe's gone. And the Medivac's still around.
Trying to fly in. This is ambitious. And I don't think it's going to get much done. The Phoenix there, clean up. Oh. Oh.
Tries the Mothership Core, but...
Yeah. Also ambitious.
Oh, no. Nice
oh,
lift.
good denial.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, some scrappy little battles. Not quite expecting them to go as they do, but...
Yeah. Scrappy battles, but at the end of it, Lilbow comes out in the lead. Didn't lose really many probes, 40 to 28. Very successful, but another drop with more Widowmines is on the way.
Yep, and how much energy do we have on the Mothership Core? Actually, quite a bit, to be honest with you. Or at least enough here for another Photon Overcharge, as we have Robo, Gateways, Double Forge. So plenty of good old stuff coming out from Lilbow, who, to be fair, can probably get away with it because he's in a great economical position.
If these Widowmines double sets now do the damage that we saw previously,
well,
right back in the game, Uthermal is.
Yeah, it's ambitious. Gets himself a few SCVs as well here, trying to get that SCV. Ah, dear me, he's going to lose a lot.
Oh, man.
Widowmines, not reacting, not reacting, not reacting. Ah! Okay, well, got himself a few kills there as well.
The end result's 4 difference, so kind of helps a little bit, I suppose.
Into the natural? Nope, not even going to be able to get in there, and these Phoenix aren't going to clean this up. Oh, Neo. Oh, no. The Widowmine. Oh, it was in there before he even dropped.
So, the worker difference, 43-28. 44 supply versus 70.
Yeah, difficult.
Yeah, not good. Not good here for Uthermal. Unfortunately, his very aggressive opening did not work out as well as he intended it to do.
Run away.
And that very early Stargate really helped out that we saw Lilbow go for. And now Double Forge. There's not even an engineering bay on the field, I don't think, yet for Uthermal. Oh, there's one. Okay. No upgrades yet.
No.
And he hasn't even started Stim. The Tech Lab's just now being added on to build Stim.
Yeah.
That's how far behind he is. Third base started for Lilbow, and this is what we call a problem.
Yeah, just a bit. Just a bit. When that third base is going down and Protoss feels this comfortable to take it, and even Pylons being littered down towards the bottom just to make sure that no drops are going to go in and try and do any damage down there, then yeah, he's sitting pretty at the moment here, is Lilbow, with extra Colossi on the way, double Chrono Boost into those upgrades. Not sure what's going to stop him at this point.
Do you know I can speak Dutch?
Can you?
Yep.
Yeah?
So I'll say something about this, about Uthermal, I suppose.
Okay, then.
Ik denk dat hij aan het verliezen is.
What? All right. You think he's losing?
Yeah, that's what I said, man.
Oh, okay. My translation skills are getting good.
How did you like my Dutch? I didn't have quite enough, but I can put that in next time I try again.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know that's how Dutch sounds, but...
The only thing I can say would be something that I assume is a profanity, so yeah, that's what you get taught whenever you go to these countries.
Yeah, I can speak Dutch.
Yeah? That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
It's very similar to German. Very similar.
Yeah?
So there's my Dutch sentence of the day.
With more...
Yeah, I got my pronunciation's quite bad. But all the Dutch people on King's Day, I don't know if you say, I don't actually know this, I'm going to guess. Prost!
What? Prost? Oh well. But for now, Lilbow is going to be on lockdown at this third base. Uthermal, meanwhile, is actually flying over to his third base and trying to get his infrastructure up. But I'm not sure how well it's going to work out against what Lilbow has at the moment. His army is looking pretty sick.
Yeah. Lilbow is in a wonderful position. and he will continue to be in this wonderful position because of how this game rolled out. And there's not really too much here that Uthermal can do to pull this around. He's got to really have some Dutch courage to be able to pull a victory from this one. And it's going to be like drops that aren't spotted and doom drops and plays like this. But until Stim, one of the most basic upgrades in the game, is complete, he has no options to do anything yet.
No, not at all. Not at all. Unit count, 3 Colossi. Not that many gateway units, but they're all going to warp in now. And he's been powering, basically. He doesn't need all the gateway units when he was able to deal with the push. And actually, these 2 Colossi have been kept in the wings and not quite been spotted just yet here by Uthermal. So he's going to have to be careful about how he deals with this army, because he may misjudge how many Colossi are actually out.
Yeah, Colossus count, always important. And Phoenix Stalker support is pretty sexy. Yeah, no upgrades for Terran. 0-0 versus 1-1, about to be 1-2, and that 2 being an armor upgrade of all things.
Yeah.
So,
how heavy is your
Marines? Just aren't going to die.
Okay, 29 Marines. Well, yeah, I'm not going to die at all.
So it's quite simple. Anyone, even if you don't really know StarCraft, you cannot win a fight right now as Terran.
No, not
But
really.
what you can do is fight where there is no army. So you can try drops, you can try to find him out of position and do damage that way, just avoid the fight until you're really ready. With the second starport coming in, hopefully he can build a Viking count high enough, and if he deals damage, such as a Nexus snipe, probe snipes, then he can crawl his way back in. But he cannot confront this Protoss army head-to-head yet.
Nope. I'm going to have to hit on multiple angles, drops the scan, sees the most part the positioning of the army here for the Protoss, and grabs himself a pylon or 2 on the perimeter, but that is about it. Nothing more.
3 medevacs are going to attempt the main base.
It's so funny. He cleans up one pylon. He's like, right, pick up, time to go again. Runs straight into another pylon instantly. Really hard life here for Uthermal, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's more from that to come as well.
Yep.
The army count, I mean, Uthermal's doing all right. He's building up strong, but it's hard for him. It is difficult for him. He's adding in some Hellbats, which is pretty cool. Hellbat's very good against the Zealots and tank a bit of damage too, which allows his Marine and Marauders not to be hit by the Colossus. So they can deal out a little bit more damage, but the upgrades are so very good from Lilbow.
Double Forge is pretty cool. Oh, is this going to die?
Sukadush! Yep.
Why would...
That's another
he didn't even
kill.
move.
So this is a tricky situation for Lilbow. For Uthermal. When these upgrades complete, he just steamrolls, because he is having the Protoss dream match.
Yeah.
Where the Terran can't do anything, and you've got double upgrades, you've got Colossus, you're about to get Storm.
Do whatever you want.
You have everything.
Yeah.
And you have a great army. Probably a lot of gateways by now, too.
Probably, it's a very lovely army. Ghost
only
Academy
on
is being
10.
added on. Is he only at 10, you say?
He can add more gateways. I mean, he's got 1,200 minerals in the bank.
Yeah,
And
and
he has everything he needs.
he can just chase on. I think he... Oh, no, okay, so he didn't kill his own
Well,
Phoenix.
remember, this is 1-0 Terran versus 2-1-2, because there is that shield upgrade in there as well. Like, this is unbelievably strong.
I think it's even 2-2 now, right? Well, anyway. Oh, so moving on forwards. Going to kill off quite a bit of this army. There was an attempt at a flank here from Uthermal, but he can't deal with the Colossi that well. The AI is being messed with a little bit at the back, but it's absolute destruction. Lilbow will take game number 2 and tie up this series 1-1.
Yeah, that's pretty convincing game there from Lilbow. And when you're down 20 SCVs or 20 SCVs versus 40 odd probes, you've got half the economy.
Yeah.
So you aren't going to be able to keep up. And his strategy, his build choice was to be aggressive early. He couldn't do it. He sacrificed his economy to do it. And when you're not successful, you fail.
Yep, tough stuff. Tough stuff. Thank you very much for that wisdom there, Sean.
Yeah, man.
That was beautiful.
I'm all about that wisdom.
Well, now we move on to game number 3. I'm not sure what map it's going to be until it loads. It's going to say it's going to be Echo. All right.
Okay, so I like Echo and Coda. These are like the 2 twin maps.
Yeah, exactly. They're very twinish.
2 very similar maps. I like the smaller map here. I feel that we're probably going to see Uthermal open up aggressive again, but not as aggressive as that last one. I think just the regular Reaper into Widowmine drops was successful in the first match, and he can pull it up to try to find a victory, a 2-1 victory here, or at least 2-1 lead. But Lilbow is starting to realize Uthermal's game plan, if he didn't know it already, which is Widowmine drops, and a lot of them. So it now becomes a game of, can he stop them from happening?
Yeah, and It can be difficult, but we already saw in that previous game that it was well done to defend the aggression that was coming along, but it was a different flavor of aggression, right? It was very much so, if this doesn't do big damage, then this is going to hurt me in the long run.
Yeah. And he can't bank too much on that style, because that will hurt him in the series. Just like to point out that the caster here in Master League is higher ranked than both the Pro Gamers and Diamond League. I just thought I'd let you know that.
We've had this happen in a couple of the tournaments that we've cast recently. In our Meisterschaft as well, you were higher ranked than every player, I think.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not lying. I am higher ranked than all these players.
Technically,
I don't necessarily have the higher MMR, but I have a higher rank in game of StarCraft.
There you go. So, bow to the prowess of Sean, I guess.
Higher ranked.
There you go. All right, let's get into game number 3 as we have Echo our map. So let's jump on in. So spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner. Still now 1-1. No, it's not that one. There we go. All right, these hotkeys are difficult. As we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner, it's our red. It is Uthermal. And up to the top left-hand corner, it's our blue Protoss. Of course, it is Lilbow.
I was correct with my guess on the cheers in Dutch as well.
Does that work as well in...
Yeah, just pronunciation a little bit different, but...
okay.
Yep. Shout out to all the Dutch people. Shout out to the Dutch Massive. King's Day rep.
Wow. Well, that happened. All right, so for now, Lilbow, let's see how he's going to fend off against this Dutchman.
Yeah. See my French, man. My French is unbelievable.
Oh, God, no. Don't talk to me about French.
Yeah, let's save it for another day. Maybe I'll bring it out another day, another time. Maybe when Marine Lord plays, I'll bring it out.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
But no more accents today.
Yeah, I won't
I might get
French.
banned from the chat because I'm not speaking English.
That'd be funny. Oh,
Ban the caster, he's not speaking English.
Well, oh, look at this. Cute. I haven't seen that for a while.
Yeah. Just to hide what's behind. Is it Reaper? Is it not? Is it gas at all?
Or it's a mini supply depot. So, yeah. But aside from that, yeah, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute.
You'd think, wouldn't you, that the probe would be able to squeeze past that small little piece of
just here?
Metal because it's not a fully constructed supply depot yet.
Yeah, but no, watch. As it fails its task.
I mean, understandably, now you can't.
As a base.
Could have at the start.
It's hovering, though. It could just go... Whoom, and
yeah. Well, he doesn't hover high enough.
There you go, physics.
So gasless from Uthermal, so it's going to be one barracks command center, or he slaps down extra barracks and goes nuts and tries some weird one base all in, which really doesn't work because there's a mothership core. So it should be one barracks command center.
Mm-hmm.
And the command center is inside the main base, so he is, I would imagine, wanting to show that there's no command center there.
Tricky. Lilbow going to throw down his Nexus on spot because that's all you can do.
Yeah. I mean, I would even let the Marines allow the probe up, see that there's nothing there, and then kill it off before it goes too far.
Oh.
So I think that would be a really cool mind game.
You see, now this is why you're higher rank than these guys. Just these kind of small things, Sean.
Yeah. Small differences, man.
All right, well.
So it's 2 barracks and double gas. Double gas, that's cool. I wonder what he's going to do with all that gas. That's quite a lot of gas income pretty early.
And the probe tries to poke up.
That'd be so funny if the Marines just stop shooting. He's like, no, stop, then kill it.
Let him in, let him in.
That'd be the most obvious mind game ever.
SCV down here, is he going to proxy a factory?
Oh, no, shouldn't do. It's
crazy.
way too late.
Yeah.
With the setup, that is way too late. I think he's going for a very early +1 attack, potentially, from this engineering bay. Or he's just willing to get it in case there is a Stargate.
Yeah.
That'd be, I mean, Stargate is very popular. Uthermal is already awesome with the mind games because his opponent is worried of how this is played out. So he's got a second gateway down quite fast.
Oop, and SCV gets in. Sneaky.
Yeah, doesn't see some. The second gateway is just to make sure he has enough units out to stop any Widow Mine drops, which could be happening.
Yeah.
But so far, I mean, it's just a pretty standard but weirdly placed, kind of regular opening from Uthermal.
Drops the robo facility, then drops the scan right on top of it instantly. So good spotting here by our lovely Uthermal. Who's going to just take himself on spot. It's very difficult with that Robo facility to really do anything too aggressive for Lilbow. So seeing that tech structure at this point in time gives him a good peace of mind.
Yeah, knows that there's no, shouldn't be at least any oracles or blink play. He's got Marines inside the mineral line just in case. Because they could technically still squeezed out a Stargate somewhere on the map. And
I mean, look at the gas bank up at the moment. That really speaks it for itself.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the Marines don't need to be at the front because he's just seen 2 gates in a Robo. There's no amount of units that can walk up there and overwhelm a Marauder and a couple of Marines, so he's just playing it safe with his unit positioning. With the double gas that came off the back of the double barracks here for Uthermal, he is able to get quite a fast factory. So 2 barracks factory is quite fast, and he's going to be able to go for the a double medivac or even 4 medivac really early on with a decent unit count.
And here comes the poke out to try and grab himself a photon overcharge or something like that. Anything you can really get would be nice at the front. This game, he's not having stim late at all. No, no, no. He's getting that super fast. As obviously, very, very important. The Observer will be able to see this move out through the middle, though. Wow, Twilight Council on Robo Bay. So
yeah, get some Blink and Colossus action on the go. Blink is awesome. Colossi are awesome.
They are pretty good. Photon overcharge activated before this even gets in range, and he catches in one of the observers, which is nice. Maybe you can catch the other one over the other side of the map, and that will be quite the costly investment for Lilbow.
Uthermal has a choice to make very shortly. Is how many barracks he wants to add on before his third command center, if at all. The more common and the more popular choice is 3 additional ones now to go up to a total of 5, and then just go wild. On this map, it's great too, where the third base location is for Protoss. Like the flying there and into the main is, oh my god, so annoying. So it's a cool strategy to do, and going up to 5 barracks allows you a high number of units to pull that type of play off. So we'll see if he goes up to 5 shortly. But Lilbow, no Forge, just Blink, just Colossus, very defensive. Most of his resources are funneled into units now, which could be aggressive for him depending on how this next part of the game goes, but overall, it's just looking not to take damage.
Yeah, very difficult to poke up there as well now that the Photon Overcharge dissipated, but Uthermal, unfortunately, seeing that Colossus, can't really do too much.
So 3 extra gateways going up to a total of 6.
This spread.
I think he'll probably slowly add on the 3rd and more than likely throw Double Forge down soon, but he is playing this very cautiously.
Yeah, has to be a bit careful, I guess. I think also, just having the few units in the backup, very, very important. These 2 medevacs could become very annoying.
I like Uthermal's decision to get the 3rd command center instead of barracks. Because why you want more barracks when your opponent's tucked in so defensively on 2 bases? You might as well try to get a faster economy off this command center and then add the barracks in a second and then get to a decent army count. There's no point throwing down 5 barracks to throw units at a guy who's sitting back defensively on 2 bases. So that's kind of, I like this. I like that.
Yep. As Uthermal for now, gonna have to just head on back. He doesn't want to be sitting around for too long, knowing that his opponent's power is increasing.
Yeah. And when you're on 2 barracks, you don't even try to drop because you lose 1 medivac full of units and he counters, you're dead. You have 2 barracks.
Not enough production to keep up.
And good deny on the scout. Lilbow does not know how many barracks are there, if a drop's coming, is a 3rd down. He doesn't know anything. The Salutated Phoenix is one way he can look at this.
It doesn't see too much just yet.
But the Stalker count is at such a high number. He is moving across the map. So, like I said, he's building up a higher number of units where he could just, play defensive, sit back, defend, and expand, or he attacks with it, depending on how the game goes. And as good as Uthermal's decision, I think, in this situation to go for a 3rd command center is, if Lilbow expands, it's perfect. But if he attacks, you might die.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult to deal with, actually.
So I think he might get punished for his greed here, poor Uthermal. And this is a big game. If he loses this, it's, 2-1.
Yeah, and there's only 6 Vikings out, and they're all a little bit staggered all over the place, so...
There's 6 Marauders. There's nothing.
He could just kill this off instantly. Like, this army is not that big. And also, he gains a good position. He could drop force fields down here as well, make it hard for that entire army to engage into. One of the Colossus will fall pretty rapidly. There aren't that many Vikings left over, though, I don't think. Only 4.
I think this is going to be checkmate. I think this is, unfortunately, Uthermal getting quickly into position. I was standing up. My There we go.
There we go.
I was standing up. I was enjoying that game. You know, it could have been wonderful, but it was terrible.
Yeah, sad times there for Uthermal as Lilbow. I mean, that's the risk you run when you're going up against something like Protoss in general anyway, especially one that can execute those two base plays very, very strongly. We've seen Wellmu time and time again hit those kinds of plays, where it's just like, oh, I don't have enough to deal with your Colossi, I don't have enough to deal with anything, really.
And the thing is, if he'd gone for more of a regular setup, you know, 4 barracks, 3 barracks, 5 barracks, then he probably would have had enough to compete against that army. But because he was like, okay, well, you're going to hopefully expand from this, then I'll take full advantage of that. But it was a great thought process, but unfortunately just Lilbow didn't do what the Uthermal wanted him to do.
Yeah, and now Lilbow is 1 game away from attaining Premier, which would be amazing for his career, because I think once Lilbow gets into like a group stage situation now in his current form, I think he would thrive.
Yeah. I mean, the player setup is pretty awesome for the Premier League, but I think he'd do well to get top 2. He could see himself with a plane ticket to Toronto, Canada, depending on how well he does. Of course, that's the Season 2 finals. Can't wait to go over there for that. That's going to be an amazing tournament. Hopefully you guys can join us there as well as we get closer and closer to giving out the details for that. But right now, just in Challenger stage, and now 1 game away is our dear friend Lilbow.
Yeah. As I say, Valley Research Station will be our next map. We are just waiting for Uthermal to join the lobby. There may have been the potential that he was checking over the replay there briefly to make sure he was okay. Since you're higher ranked, actually, you were in a player spot just then. You could have taken on Lilbow.
Yeah, probably not with this setup, unfortunately.
No? Oh.
No, not with this mouse and keyboard. It's not so good commentating gear for playing.
Ah, okay.
So
okay.
Probably not.
I understand. Yeah. All right. Well, let's throw Uthermal into the pit once again to figure out if he can beat him. As could be difficult at this point. Could be difficult with the way Lilbow's playing. On Valley Research Station, how do you think this can go? Do you think this would be okay for Lilbow here?
Depends on how he plays. The back map is the back expansion can be difficult to deal with, but observers in positions, maybe Stargate plays quite popular to stop medivacs. You know, anything's possible. I'd say that this is a pretty comfortable map either side, though. There's no clear big problem with this map. The problem that you're going to share is that back expansion being harassed, but that's a Warp Prism can do the same thing as drops can do. So
yeah. All right. Well, we're still just waiting a little bit on Uthermal here, who's taking a moment to, I guess, kind of contemplate things, because I wouldn't be surprised at all if you just kind of want to step back a little bit. 1 map away from being eliminated.
Well, the thing is, he really didn't do anything wrong in that game, apart from it was just his build didn't do well against Lilbow's push. And it was greedy. I mean, no doubt it was greedy. But it was a lot about, I think, more so thinking ahead. And he was assuming a lot more of what a Protoss would do. And you don't really see that type of attack come out from Protoss if there's been no damage at all happen in the game. And also the fact that this wasn't a rushed attack by Lilbow either. This is very calm and relaxed, sat back, didn't rush a high amount of Colossus out very fast, was very chill, and then he just attacked, and Uthermal just died. And then Uthermal was probably stunned a little bit, just like, well, why did you attack? Why did you plan an attack? Why did you do that? Weren't you meant to expand at that point? What happens if you can't attack into me? If I had 5 barracks with the units, you might die.
All right.
So maybe a confusing game.
Well, let's get into it then. Game number 4, I should say, as Lilbow is at 2 and Uthermal is at 1. Perfect. As we have spawning down to the south, it is our red Terran. It is Uthermal. And up to the top, 1 map away from securing Premier in Season 2 of the World Championship Series. It is Lilbow.
Okie dokie. Sometimes you do see gas first builds again, but when you're 1 match away from being eliminated, and for both of these players, probably the most important match that they've played since Season 1 Challenger. I guess you could argue Uthermal in the round of 32, but either way, one of the most important matches they played this year. This is a big deal. I don't think you can open up gas first. You saw its success rate. It didn't work out very well in that first map. It's not the best of builds. It can work, but it has not the highest success rate.
And Lilbow taking no chances, scouting out his main base, making sure nothing crazy is going on. Likewise, Ah, okay, he's just going to go straight across. I thought maybe he would try and scout out around his natural or something. Because we have even seen, you know, people like Maru, for example, go for crazy proxies.
Yeah.
So you never know.
But Uthermal's entire season hangs on the line here.
Yeah, yeah.
So doing that would really take some confidence.
It would. It would.
But it's just going to be a Reaper opening. I would expect the factory follow-up. I think it's solid, even if you aren't you know, guaranteed to do damage. Even if you do a little bit, it's okay.
Zep's away at the command center for good measure.
Yeah.
And
But he also could now take SCVs out of gas once he reaches 50, throw the reactor down, focus on minerals, expansion, barracks.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways he plays this.
Well, Reaper is now on the way. To try and jump in and have a little bit of a look around, make sure nothing crazy is going on. Zella has been started here for a Lilbow, but potential that we could see him just deviate from that.
It's going to be a factory play, and Lilbow's probably expecting this. This is the way that Uthermal likes to play StarCraft. It's the way that Terrans in general like to play against Protoss. So we are going to see a factory play. There is a probe hidden on the map already, and it is way too early to be any proxy structure yet. So he's going to go back, but depending on what he sees, is huge. If he sees the factory, that's great. That's a fantastic scout.
Yeah.
But there's the wall up. So sadly, you're not going to see anything. And you can't tell from just this probe poking probe, what this is.
Difficult to really find anything from there. Reaper has spotted the natural and will try and dive towards the main base to see what it can do. SCVs are under attack, so that pokey probe, ooh.
That pokey probe has poked a SCV to death.
Yeah.
With just 1 hit left, or 1 zap.
A lot less poking for us, please.
Zappity zap zap.
Guess nothing. All right, how's the poking of the Reaper done? Nothing. So, yeah.
That was funny. I was like, zap, zippity zap. And then in my head, I was like, bang! Biggity bang!
Oh, God.
And a bang, bang, bang.
The things that go on in your mind, Sean.
I really wanted it to be an SCV. But then again, he's not really banging, so I'd have to wait for the for the Marine.
I guess so. I guess so.
So Twilight Council.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So gonna be Blink again. He's still got that probe out there, so the probe can act as a counter-attack probe pylon, depending on the success rate of the defense, which he knows he's gonna probably be playing against this. He knows he's probably gonna be playing against the Widowmine drops.
Yeah. There was a small supply block for Uthermal. Didn't really line up exactly, so that Widowmine was slightly delayed. But as long as he's able to get the medevac out with the second Widowmine as well, everything should time out okay.
So second, third, and fourth gateway. So things are looking pretty nice for Lilbow if he stops the medevac. Because you stop the medevac, and you can counterattack immediately. Because when you go for this type of build, compared to the regular Terran openers, you don't have stim. You don't have combat shields. You don't have really any units.
Yeah.
So you can just outright die if you don't do very much damage and slow the Protoss down. And he's already building up towards a 4 gateway blink attack.
Yeah, chrono boosting into that blink pretty rapidly as well.
Yeah.
The Reaper really needs to get in there and have a little bit of a look around.
Even the Marines walking across the other side of the map are walking to their doom at this moment.
Not really much they can do against Blink Stalkers.
I mean, he just sees the second gateway and that's it. And the Reaper's dead now. It's stuck. Uthermal is up against it unless these Widowmines pull off some magic drops.
If these units are out of position, then great, but photon overcharge could happen very, very quickly here with the Mothership Core being in place like it is, but where is it going, actually?
Doesn't see it, and now the Widowmines are there.
That's way too far out of position, and he's not even going to... Okay, he's going to pull away. Sacrifices 3. Oh. Ooh, that was a long shot. And also the Marines actually walk into the main base and somehow just do a ton of damage. What on earth happened?
Yeah, he killed off 1 Stalker, took 1 down to half health, and killed off 11 workers again.
The
and
retreat
picks up and saves, and now this attack just isn't powerful. He's lost all his probes. He's going to lose more in there because he's got no detection. Oh. This is it. That's all he has. So at this point, you continue building Widowmines, I would imagine, and just plant them down defensively at home.
Yeah.
He adds on bunkers. He actually stops the Widowmine production to build a tank. You could even pick one of the Widowmines up and walk it into the mineral line here.
Yeah, it looks
this
like
is it.
do.
Defend, and it is 2-2. Don't defend, and you are out of WCS.
All right, well, 2 Stalkers get warped in into the defense as well here, making sure they can try and push back that Widowmine. He realized it was unburrowed and will not get extra shots off on it. How many Stalkers do we even have? 11 against only 9 Marines. Those 3 Widowmines, though.
Bunkers,
where are they?
Though, Widowmines 2 on the other side of the map, 1 defensively above that bunker at the top,
Blinks
which is going to boom.
Into a Widowmine, and takes a bit of damage. That
Tank is 80%.
That bunker's not finished. Does finish it up, though, in the end. Needs extra Stalkers. These 2 extra Stalkers really want to get in there. He's going to be trapped.
Yeah, he is trapped. The tank is out now, by the way.
It's just trying to do as much damage as possible. I don't think that he's looking for the kill.
He has to kill because he's got no detection. The Widowmines are in his mineral lines.
Oh, yeah, they're just... this is ridiculous. Well, he gets the tank, actually.
Yeah.
It didn't siege up.
There are mules, though, and there are more Widowmines, or that same Widowmine around.
Blinks in with the extra ones.
Nice blink. Nice dodge. Really nice dodge.
Yeah, very good. And how many units does he even have left?
More than Uthermal.
9 Marines left over. They need to deal with this very, very cost efficiently. They're not even in the bunker. I think the Blink Stalkers are going to be able to win this out. He blinks forwards aggressively, and he's saved so many other Stalkers.
Is this it? This looks like it.
Drops the scans. There you go. GG.
Is out. Lilbow.
Oh, what a fight. What a fight. Lilbow is able to advance on to Premier League. Congratulations to him.
He's been stuck in Challenger for the last 3 seasons, and now he's back in Premier League for the 2nd time in his career, and will be competing either in Los Angeles, Burbank, or in Cologne, Germany, depending on which group he gets drawn into, but he's back to the Premier League.
Congratulations to him. Commiserations, obviously, to Uthermal. As I said before, I mean, both of them in the end kind of got a pretty tough draw there for Challenger.
Yeah, they're both very good players, very equal in skill, and both really on the rise in the European scene. And they had to clash in Challenger, but it is the Protoss Lilbow who makes it out. Sadly for Uthermal, he can't get the 4 Premier Leagues in a row. He had 3, but now he's been eliminated from the World Championship Series already here.
Yeah, and that means now today, obviously, we have had our 4 players advancing on into Premier League. So congratulations to our Team Liquid boys in TLO, Snoot, and Rhett. Congratulations to Lilbow for advancing on here throughout the 4 games that we've had today. And obviously, commiserations to our players that are going to have to try and qualify for Season 3.
Yeah, those are our 4 games. And as you mentioned, we had our 4 winners. But that leaves us with a couple of other days that we have left remaining within the WCS Challenger. Yeah,
that's true. So obviously tune in on Wednesday, same time, same place. Tune in on Thursday as well. Here are Tuesday's games as we'll
Wednesday's games.
Sorry, Wednesday's games, I should say.
Yeah.
Getting ahead of myself here. As we have a really, really good selection of players going to be playing for you.
Yep. It's going to be a cool day.
And obviously here is Thursdays as well, with obviously that rematch at the very end between Serral and Harstam from previous. And of course, people like Marine Lord in there, and obviously the infamous 4GG looking to continue to assert his dominance here in Europe.
Yep. Looking forward to these next couple of days. WCS North America will be happening this evening as well in the next couple of hours, so there's more StarCraft for you to check out. But that does it for us until Wednesday.
That's true. So a huge thank you for tuning in here for WCS Challenger. We'll see you on Wednesday, same time, same place.